Yeah, this your girl Quay, hosted on the corner, Keri's Korner. Okay, live from the Mecca, MC, microphone checker. My mic sound nice, we gon' set it off like from NY to the world salute. Daddy's girl, got him claiming for the pearl, examine, show the world hater, we syndicated. Look, ma, I made it, celebrated, dipped off.
So how I actually got the Keri's Korner radio show is David Glover, the station manager at FLO Empire Radio, decided that I should have my own show, thereby giving me a platform to promote my first book, The Wanderer's Game. I was like, yeah, I'm not good. I don't like that idea. I don't really like a lot of talking. It's one thing to be a co-host. It's another thing to have your own show. And I said, by the way, David, what the hell would I call it? He said, I don't know. You can call it Keri's Korner or something. And I was like, Keri's Korner? Like, oh, so now I'm a public drug dealer? Like, that's crazy. You know what I mean? I was like, nah, I don't like the name. I don't like the idea. But the last couple of shows that I did on the Independent Forum, I did bring in some great people. Dr. Celicia Thompson, who is Selena Johnson's sister and manager, and DJ Silk, who at the time was Roxanne Shantae's tour manager. They were recurring guests that we had on the show. I talked to DJ Silk. He said, he wanted to do it. And I figured, all right, well, if I have a DJ and I'm talking, and the slick comments along with the good music, maybe I'll make it happen. And after all, we'll just do it for a couple of months. Once I get this book promoted, it's a wrap. And that's how the Keri's Korner radio show started, basically. So the next step in the process of getting ready for the show, I like to do everything big. I don't like to do anything small. So I wanted to have this big launch party. We rented out this spot on 116th Street in East Harlem. And we had a big, grand ball where we was gonna have a debut for the Wanderer's Game book, as well as the Keri's Korner radio show. And I had a huge turnout. Maria Davis was there, Aurora Jones was there, who's a great friend of mine, who did a lot of encouraging. Of course, my mom was there, Shireen Lewis, lots of people that meant the world to me were at that first party that we had, DJ Silk DJ, and the turnout was serious. We had like a good 200 people come out, and I'm thinking, I feel good about this book that's coming out because I already have copies of it. The radio show, I'm not so sure. April 1st was our first show, and we just made it happen. The first show happened on Monday, April 1st, 2013, at 8:00 p.m. at FLO Empire Radio Studios. I remember being nervous. That's an understatement. I was kind of a pain in the ass, to keep it real. I remember wanting everything to be right, and any little sound that happened, I was like, I was a hot mess. My first guest was a sister named Tamara Tillman. She had a client, a rapper, The Dawn was the artist name. A brother who had some serious flow. He was our first guest. DJ Silk played music. We had a full team, and we actually netted 6,000 listeners on our first 2-hour show. I remember David Glover posted this banner. I still remember the picture. It says, Keri's Korner Radio Show, thank you to our listeners, 6,000 listeners. And 6,000 listeners for a new show was hot. First episode, I'll never forget it. We just had a lot of fun. Hey, yo, 17 West 24th Street, FLO Empire Radio Studios, right here in the Chelsea section of Manhattan. Man, this is where the Keri's Korner Radio Show was born. Right here, April 1st, 2013 was our first show, and we broadcasted right here in this building from April 1st all the way to March 31st of 2014, which is where we had our infamous, I guess you could say, 3-hour anniversary party, which was broadcasted live. We had Ray Vaughn came through, Bull Legaloo from Full Force came through, Ex-Girlfriend came through. A lot of guests, a lot of fun, lots of food, had a great time. This is where I got my feet wet, you guys. This is where I really learned the art of oversharing, of thinking outside the box, and certainly of talking and saying things I shouldn't. We had a good time here. Shout out to all the shows that were here with me back in those early days. And 10 years ago, long mother time. A couple of those first interviews, among them, I remember interviewing Ramona Africa. So Ramona Africa was one of the two people to survive the 1985 move bombing, which was where the Philadelphia Police Department dropped a bomb on a row house, killing 11 people and destroying 62 homes. There were two survivors of that disaster. Ramona was one of them, and there was a child who survived. And I interviewed Ramona on my show. And that was really, really deep because this was a person who I never thought I'd have access to. And I had done so much research in college on the move bombing, and to be able to talk to Ramona and ask her all of these things that I want to ask her, and give my audience an opportunity to know about what happened in Philadelphia, because that was, in truth, the worst example, even to date, of police brutality. The police, under a black mayor, Philadelphia's first black mayor, killed 11 people and destroyed 62 row houses, and nobody was ever charged for this. So talking to Ramona on the Keri's Korner radio show was really empowering, because I felt like at this point I had enough, I guess, clout to interview whoever the hell I wanted. As the Keri's Korner radio show continued along its first year journey, I remember somebody I really, really wanted to interview was Ray Vaughn. A lot of you guys may know Ray Vaughn for a lot of the work that he's done with Shaggy.
Girl, you're my angel, you're my darling angel.
Songs like No Guns, No Murder. So I forget who I think it might have been Tamara Tillman who had the connection with Ray Vaughn, and she said she could get him on the show. I was like, yeah, that would really be dope. And he showed up in our little studio in Chelsea in Manhattan. He showed up, and I was like, wow.
Showtime TV, always got the hottest people in the game in front of my camera. Let me know who you is. Ray Vaughn was good, man.
Good, yo. We in the building right now. FLO, Empire, NYC. We pull up, select and rewind. You know what I mean? Wheel up, pull up. Number one selector right here.
But it was really dope to have my favorite reggae artist on my radio show. Like, he was in my house. And I might have been a little starstruck, because I was, wasn't used to the radio thing.
The man right here, I got my favorite reggae artist on my radio show, meant to be in 95, now 2014, and I got the man as a guest on my radio show, Keri's Korner, Mondays 8 to 10. It's an honor to have you on my show, brother.
Ray Vaughn was the most memorable because he was the first big guest, big high-profile artist that I had on the show. And I think after that, man, I didn't feel like there was any ceiling. I felt like, if anybody, if I really wanted somebody on the show and I worked hard enough, I can make it happen, and I have. First year anniversary party was, of course, the obligatory Keri's Korner radio show cake. I always get the dopest cakes from Lord's Bakery in Brooklyn. And it was just a lot of fun. It was an on-air party. So basically, while we're partying, we're also interviewing, which was a little hectic, because I'm trying to eat cake. I got 5 minutes to do an interview. But it was a lot of fun. DJ Just in Time and DJ Shabu came all the way from Massachusetts to DJ. It was packed. It was 3 rooms of food, fun, shenanigans, and it was a great way to celebrate the first year. And certainly at that point, I realized, you know what, I could definitely do this for another, I don't know how long, but yeah, after the first year anniversary party, I had definitely found my footing. So absolutely, without a doubt, one of the biggest achievements, and there were many, from being the host and producer of the Keri's Korner radio show, was building an alliance with the Jamaica business improvement district in Queens. And basically, they explained to me that we were going to have a banner raising ceremony. So we went out to Jamaica, Queens early in the morning. One of the few times I appreciated going out early in the morning to Queens, or anywhere for that matter. And we had the banner, the press was there, and the Jamaica Business Improvement District staff was there. I'm not sure if the borough president was there or not, but I think maybe the borough president was there. But at any rate, they put me on this cherry picker machine. Oh, no warning. No warning at all. But it was fun. I'm waving at all the people on Jamaica Ave, and they're looking up and like, what's going on? And it was just a dope experience. Those banners stayed on Jamaica Avenue for quite a few years, maybe 3 or 4 years before they had to be replaced, actually. I can't thank the Jamaica Business Improvement District enough, specifically Valerie Stevens for making that happen. It was definitely a big achievement, and we just began to grow and grow and grow and grow. I'd like to say around the time, shortly after the banners were put up on Jamaica Avenue, that we started to get some really, really big acts in terms of the genre of music that the Keri's Korner radio show were featuring. Melba Moore came on the radio show. And that, for me, was probably one of the biggest moments because she actually came into the studio as opposed to calling in. And to have Melba Moore, Melba has done everything. She's done Broadway, she's done television, she's had talk shows, and she's actually this year getting her long overdue star on the Hollywood Boulevard Walk of Fame in LA. For Melba Moore to be sitting across from me was amazing. And I remember her actually saying to me that her interview with me was one of the best interviews she'd ever had. There were a lot of instances where we had constraints on how many people we could have in the studio at one time. And I decided in 2019 to take the Keri's Korner radio show to DTF radio in Brooklyn. Wasn't as convenient because it's in the Clinton Hill section of Brooklyn, but we certainly have more space. We have more space to do events if we wanted to. We have more space to have a live DJ in the studio. We have more space just to move around, and it was quite honestly more aesthetically pleasing and suited for a radio show than we were at FLO Empire Radio. It wasn't easy. I had been at FLO Empire Radio from 2013 to 2019, and then but I think like everything else that becomes successful, you have to evolve and you have to grow. And it wasn't easy. David Glover wasn't just our station manager at FLO Empire Radio. He was the person that created the idea for me to have this show. But as I said, with time comes growth, and we needed to grow. And DTF basically gave us the space and the ability and the room to grow as a show. So we moved to Brooklyn, and that's where we've been ever since. I guess so. Now we're at DTF, which is a bigger space. I felt like the space needed to be filled up. We started getting more interns. Paul Dorsa was our one intern of ours that ended up becoming the show's engineer. And now he does the boards, and I don't have to. Kevon Merrill came in as an intern and grew to be the show's assistant producer.
My name is Kevon Lee Merrill. I work as the assistant producer on the Keri's Korner radio show, and I've been on the show for about 2 years now. I came in around the fall of 2020, so yeah, it's been a wild ride since then. So I also do a lot as Keri's assistant, like I'm traveling alongside him basically everywhere that we might be going.
And this is Quay Jones' first time in a Boston subway station. How does it smell?
I guess it's different than home, but it's familiar.
So we're not going to ride it. We're just going to take you footage.
Can we say that it was my first time hopping Boston subway?
No, isn't your mother was in this?
Damn.
It was his first time hopping. I paid.
And it's great because we've been filming these promos for our different syndicated networks. I've been getting into the networking, and my video production skills have just been going through the roof, honestly. I feel like I've gotten way better over the course of working on this show because I've gotten to work with such a wide diversity of people, on such a wide diversity of projects, in a wide diversity of places that I don't think I would have been otherwise. So, yeah. Keri, thanks for taking me around, and thanks for this awesome show.
Our current DJ, Quay Jones, he's dope. He's been with us for like about 2 years. He's an awesome DJ. He knows how to, we work very well together back and forth. Of course, we still have Mr. Cox. He does our photography, and we also have Gordon and we have Allison that take care of our YouTube. So it's a big family that we have. I feel very good about the collective that we have. We've had a lot of big artists come on the show from back in the day. They all say the same thing. Keri, you have an awesome team, you have a great team. It's important to me that the guys and Allison understand how important they are. So it may be called the Keri's Korner Radio Show, but it's not about Keri. It's our show. It's not an I thing, it's a we thing. And I think as a collective, we make a great team. We get the job done, we have fun doing it. I know that they probably feel like I can be a pain in the ass at times. I'm pretty sure of it. But I'm a perfectionist and I want the best for the show, for the listeners, for the guests, and for all of us involved. So here we are 10 years into the game, and I'm excited about what's to come.
Cause the top of the line crush is buzzing. Keep it gully on the mic, cause I started from nothing. The hoes is dumping, screaming from the top of their lungs. While I'm chilling in the cut, steady counting my ones. I'm stacking them up, my whole crew's wrapped in a bunch. And my money's so old school that it looks like a hunch. And my cars are so remarkable, glamorous, fantastic. All the crush wanna know is can I live? Too many dick riders all on my jock. They just stressing the simple fact that I can't be stopped. You had your run, fam, but goddamn, look at you now. Is it that bad for you to wish that you was me now? Nah, son, I'm on another level on big screens. While you writing them little rhymes about you living my dreams? I'm like a fantasy to most of y'all characters and acts. Oh, you a thug now, cause you said my name in your rap? I don't respect that, and now it's time for me to react. I spit a line to make you even have the gall to rap. That same line to make you even twist your own wig back. You got the crown, I swear to God, yo, I'm taking it back. Young and old.
Why you messing with them? Why you messing with them? Come mess with a real man.
Uh-oh, another episode, do it again. Party up in the club, it's your boy again. Uh-oh, still getting crunked again. Uh-oh, still counting dollars to spend. Whoa, well I could give you the world, girl. Whatever floats your boat, girl. And I can spend a little cash like get on the next flight, continental first class. Oh, I could put you in that Lex bubble. But girl, you can't be fucking with them. No, you really can't be fucking with them. Because you fucking with this real man. Oh, I could take you on that jet sand. We could crab out. Yeah. TOLC, AP, Swayze. So don't get them niggas. Drop. Cheer. I need y'all to walk with us a little bit on this one. We're about to go in. Drop. Yeah. It's like I'm choking on my own smoke. I came into this world with a new approach. Eyes wide shut like I'm Tom Cruise. I rose to the top, let you spread the news. These niggas walking and they talking to me. I got the older heads wanna spark with me. I take a pull, then I breathe easy. I take another pull, let it speak for me. And as I'm looking in my own mirror, I'm looking at the other man a little clearer. I ask myself, am I all about that motherfucking M-O-N-E-Y? You know, I got the thoughts in my darkest hours and let my light shine.
Thank you guys so much.
Man, thank you, Keri.
Congratulations on 10
years. Wish you 10 more, baby. Wish you 10 more, baby.
I appreciate you very much. And do y'all do some kind of high five, like hand thing?
Yeah, we do all that at the prayer. We do that at the prayer.
So let's put our fives together. How do you do that? How you do that? Meet you over there, brother. There you go. High five in the building, people.
1, 2, 3.
R.I.P.
R.I.P. Pooh.
Yes.